It's great to talk amongst yourself and debate and do different things to discover more of God, but not if it leads to confusion. I understand it. I read lots. I understand the arguments. But the point is relationship with God and one another. I will always choose relationship over confusion to win an argument. I'm not here to win an argument. I'm here to have a relationship with you. And God is not here to win an argument because he's God. And he'll define what he wants to define. You don't define him. God is God. And he's the God of peace. And he says he gives you peace. So why don't we just receive that peace? The deacons are going to come now and they're going to get ready for communion, and we're going to remember what Christ did in order to bring this peace to us. And the worship team as well. Philippians 4 verse 7, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Listen to this, guys. Listen. And the peace of God, this peace that was given to us by the work of Jesus. We have now been justified through that work, which means we've been made right. And when you have right standing with God, one of the first fruits of that salvation is peace. When you receive Christ, maybe you can reflect even now when you first received Christ, or if you haven't received Christ, you can receive him tonight. Or maybe you've fallen away, you can come back to him and make peace with God again because of what Jesus did. Just now, reflect on the peace that you felt when you found God. When he made his way into your world. Man, the peace. The peace. And everything in this world tries to steal that peace. And that's why we must remember Jesus every day. We must come back to the place where we found that peace and go, you know what? I could be having, I got heaps of stuff going on in my world. But I'm at peace. How is that possible? Jesus stood up in the boat in the middle of a storm with his disciples and said, peace. Revealing a physical manifestation of what was inside of him. He spoke to the waves. He spoke to the wind and he said, peace, and they went calm. That's exactly what God does in our life. The storms of life used to overwhelm you. The storms and the trials and the tribulations and all these different things used to overwhelm you. But when you have Jesus and you're on his side, not asking God to come on your side, please don't do that. God, come over here. No, you make your way now. Say, God, you've come out of heaven. I'm now going to come over to your side. And he'll start to speak in your world and bring peace. Jesus will bring peace. He's not a God of confusion. The peace that transcends all understanding will guard your heart and your mind. The peace that John Lennon was looking for, the peace that every general, every leader, every worker, every single person on this earth, they're searching for this peace. And Jesus said, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are the peacemakers. If you're making conflict, stop it. Make peace with God and begin to make peace with others. That doesn't mean you don't have arguments. That doesn't mean that conflict won't occur. But always have the understanding that we are making peace. It's always about making peace. Agree to disagree, but at the same time look to Jesus. Create safe relationships. Let's be a community that invites people and says, hey, you know what? You can have peace with God. I'm not just talking about an emotion. I'm not just talking about a feeling, although a feeling does manifest. I'm talking about a knowing in your heart that causes you to trust, that causes you to hope, which Romans 5 goes on to say. And this hope does not disappoint us. Why? Because we know the peace of God. We know that hope is real because we got peace with God. It is amazing. Tonight, we're going to take communion together. And this is not a religious thing. This is simply a symbolic thing of celebrating together, of remembering together, of recommitting together to what Jesus did for us on the cross. What we are simply doing here tonight, Change, is we're gathering together as a community and saying, you know what? Jesus, you're more important, and your peace is more important than my confusion, my trials, my life, my money, my relationships. I want your peace over this world. The peace of God. He's here now. The first part of that verse says, by faith through Jesus Christ. You may say, well, I'm feeling even conflict right now. I've got so much going on in my mind. I got stuck. You don't understand what I'm going through, Josh. Have faith. Tonight, have faith in God. Faith through Jesus Christ brings peace. Brings peace.